gonna make spaghetti puttanesca. So first things first is make sure you have boiling water. Make sure you salt your water. It's gotta taste like the sea. Make sure that guy's boiling, all right? Then we're gonna get everything set up for it. So we have quite a bit already set up for it. So I have some chopped olives, all right? I have some chili flakes, basil and parsley, sliced garlic, capers, anchovy. We're gonna slice the shallots, and I have some saffron. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bloom this saffron, okay? So a little bit goes a long way with the saffron. You don't need to use a lot. So a couple leaves just like that is plenty. This shit's really expensive, so we try not to overuse it. And then we're gonna bloom it in a little bit of white wine, okay? So you can see the minute it hits it, it's starting to turn yellow. And this dish doesn't require a lot of white wine, so we're not gonna put that much, but just enough to get this going. All right. Next, we're gonna build the dish, okay? So this one's super simple. So we're gonna get a little bit of olive oil in the pan. And what? All right, and we're gonna slice our shallots. So I want some substance to these shallots because everything else is sliced so small. So we're gonna leave these a little bit larger than normal. I'm probably just gonna use one shallot on this one just because it is only one dish. We're not gonna overdo it. All right, so first thing in first, we're gonna get those shallots in. All right. And we're gonna start to cook these shallots down a little bit. Because we left them a little bit larger, they're gonna go in first. Normally these would probably go in second or third if I went a little bit smaller on it. All right, next thing is your anchovy, okay? Anchovy is important because what you do is you put it in the beginning, and then what happens is it starts to actually disintegrate in the sauce. All right, so we're only gonna put 2 little fillets. Same thing, start working these shallots and the anchovies around. You'll see over time, the anchovies will literally start to break down. That's exactly what you want to happen in this sauce. It's already starting to disintegrate. All right. Next thing, a little bit of chili flake. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. I'm trying to just basically heat up the oil and make it a little spicy. You can see your anchovies basically already 100% disintegrated. Just chop it up just a little bit more. That's exactly what you need. Now we're gonna turn the heat down a little bit because I'm not trying to toast the shallots. I just kind of want to soften them a little bit. All right. Next, garlic. It's up to you how much you want to put in. We don't need a ton here, so we're not going to go with too much. That's plenty, about a nice little teaspoon worth of garlic. And then back on the heat. So now, I try never to get too much color on my garlic. For this one, I'm going to take it a little bit farther than I normally do because I really want that toasted garlic flavor in here. All right, so now when we cook our pasta, we use fresh pasta, but if you weren't using fresh pasta, now'd be the time to put in your spaghetti, okay? So your spaghetti is gonna take about 7-8 minutes to cook in the salty boiling water, but for us, it's gonna take probably about 1.5 to 2 minutes, so I'm not there yet, and we don't need to do it yet. All right, so you can see, you got a nice little bit of color on everything in here, and it looks really good and smells really good. Now's the time to add your saffron, okay? So your saffron with your white wine. Jack your heat up again. Goes in. You're basically going to want to cook all of that wine out, okay? You're not looking for any of that wine in here. You just want the sweetness from the wine. And you want that beautiful saffron flavor. Finish cooking Taking that wine out, almost there. All right, now that the wine's completely gone and all you have in here is basically your oil and everything else that we put in, we're gonna put in our tomato sauce, all right? So we're gonna do about 2 nice spoonfuls of this. Actually, 1.5 should be plenty. And then again, guys, we haven't seasoned yet, right? So we're gonna taste this right now, and then we're gonna check for seasoning, because everything I basically threw in there and what I'm still left to put in here has some salt. Plus, we cook our pasta in really salty water, so we're gonna check the seasoning first right now. So, needs a little bit. Plus, I want the salt from in there, so I'm not going to season it with salt. I'm just going to use the pasta water. So at this point here, we could stop cooking this, all right? We're going to turn that off for a sec, and we're going to add the rest of these ingredients. So capers, always soaked in salt, so you got to make sure that we don't over salt for that reason. So capers go in. And then we chop our olives. This is a little bit too much than I would normally like it, but Blake went a little trigger happy, so we won't tell him that. And then stir that in, all right? So now we're gonna check for flavoring one more time. Now that we added all that good saltiness to it. Good, all right. Spaghetti time. Unravel your spaghetti a little bit. Obviously, you probably don't have your spaghetti looking like this. Yours are gonna be straight. So we straighten ours out just a touch. I'll just put it in there because you don't want it to clump together. Again, because we're using fresh pasta, this is gonna cook really fast, all right? So you're gonna kind of just wake it up for a second. And that could have used a touch more of the water, and then we're actually gonna throw a little bit more of that water in after. All right, throw this guy on all the way. Shake. So now the idea for this is that we cook it super al dente, right? Because we want it to finish cooking in the sauce. If I were to cook this 100%, this won't do its thing and get all nice and sexy because it's already cooked and all the starch is left in the water, but I want to actually put some of the starch in the pasta itself. All right, so now that was really, really fast, about a minute 15 seconds. Give it a nice little shake. Take some of that water and then put your pasta inside. All right, so now if you come up close, you can see that this pasta is very al dente. All right, so we're gonna turn that heat down quite a bit. And you're basically gonna finish cooking this in the sauce. So the way you do that is keep swirling this around. You can already see it getting really nice. Taste one more time. See if we have to adjust for seasoning. All right. Keep twirling. And if you come up close, you can see the colors change, right? Because the starch came out of the pasta, and it's making the pasta super creamy. Taste our pasta, see where we're at. See the colors, got that really nice red from the tomato, nice and creamy. You can even see those hints of yellow in there from the saffron. Really nice. I'm colorblind, so obviously I'm talking out of my ass right now, but it's all right. All right, almost there. Another 15 seconds. I'm gonna turn the heat off because I need to finish doing what it's doing. It's already did it. And now we're gonna finish this up, all right? So, parsley first, don't be afraid. Good amount of basil, same thing, don't be afraid. Good amount of olive oil, this is what's gonna make it shiny and sexy. And then the littlest touch of pasta water to bring this all together. All right, so again, mix that up nice. This is what we get paid the big bucks for, the flips. All right. Now it's time to plate. So for this guy, normally I would plate super high, but I'm actually gonna plate sideways on this. All right, we're gonna do it here. And then to finish it, get a spoon. You don't want any of this stuff to go to waste. Just like that. Spaghetti Puttanesca. So normally you could put some cheese on here. I would put some pecorino if anything, but I like this just like this, or maybe a little bit of toasted breadcrumbs, but really, really simple. I don't think you need any more than that. Enjoy.